Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're getting right into skincare. Specifically, we're looking at natural mechanical peeling versus chemical peels.
Yeah,
You hear more and more about these, well, gentler options, right? So we want to explore what really separates them.
exactly. And, how you, as a professional, can figure out which one fits best and when.
Our goal, as always, is to get you that solid understanding fast so you feel confident.
Absolutely. There's definitely a buzz around natural peeling,
Yeah.
and knowing both sides, the natural approach and the established chemical peel science is crucial.
Okay, let's start with the familiar territory then, chemical peels. What's the basic mechanism there?
Right. So think of chemical peels as using acids. You've
Yeah.
got your AHAs, BHAs, maybe TCA.
Uh-huh.
And these acids, they basically work to dissolve the sort of glue holding dead skin cells together right on the surface.
So it's all happening on the top layer, a top-down approach.
Precisely. It's chemically exfoliating that outermost layer.
Got it. Okay, so chemical reaction on the surface. Now, natural mechanical peeling sounds different. How does that achieve exfoliation?
It's quite a fascinating process, actually. Instead of acids, it uses these microscopic spicules.
Spicules.
Yeah, like tiny, tiny natural needles. They come from sources like certain types of algae, sometimes mineral.
Okay.
And when these are massaged onto the skin, they physically create these little controlled microchannels in the epidermis.
Microchannels, like tiny pathways. Why do that? What's the benefit?
Well, that's the key difference. These tiny channels act as a signal. They trigger the skin's own, natural repair response.
So it's stimulating the skin from within.
Exactly. It's an inside-out kind of stimulation. The skin reacts by ramping up collagen production, increasing circulation.
Mm-hmm.
It's more regenerative.
Okay. So chemical peels dissolve the surface. Natural peels kickstart renewal from deeper down. How does this play out with different skin types? That's always a big question.
It really is. And this is where those differences become super practical. Chemical peels, while effective, their acidic nature means you have to be careful, especially with sensitive skin or darker Fitzpatrick types.
Right, the risk of hyperpigmentation if things aren't handled perfectly.
Exactly. Post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation is a real concern if the peel isn't right for the skin type or, applied correctly.
So how does natural peeling fit in for those trickier skin types?
Well, because it's working mechanically, physically, rather than through a chemical pH shift or barrier disruption,
Uh-huh.
it tends to be much more forgiving, you could say. It's generally seen as safer for many sensitive, acne-prone, or pigmented skins.
So it's an alternative for people who maybe can't tolerate acids or just prefer something that feels more natural and regenerative.
Precisely. It opens up options.
Okay, that's a really key distinction for practice. What about the actual doing of it? The application protocols, are they different too?
Oh, definitely. Quite different. Applying chemical peel is often, well, more passive in a way.
Passive.
You apply the acid solution carefully, then you're watching the clock, right? Strict timing based on the acid strength, the pH.
And then neutralization is usually involved.
Right. You need to stop the chemical reaction at the right point. It's
Yeah.
very protocol-driven, very precise chemically.
Okay. And natural peeling, how does that compare?
That's much more active and manual, hand-on. The esthetician usually mixes the peeling agent, often fresh,
Oh, okay.
and then actively massages it into the client's skin.
Mhm.
And the depth, the intensity that's controlled by the pressure you use, how long you massage.
So it's more personalized, more
Yeah.
physical?
Yes, exactly. It's a very physical interaction. Some even feel there's a sort of therapeutic aspect to the manual technique itself when it's done well.
Interesting. Okay, so let's boil this down. If you had to give the absolute core difference, what would it be?
The absolute core, I'd say chemical peeling is primarily about surface exfoliation through means, dissolving what's on top, whereas natural mechanical peeling is primarily about internal stimulation via those microspicules, prompting the skin to regenerate itself.
Surface dissolving versus inside out stimulating. Got it. Both clearly have value.
Oh, absolutely.
But knowing that fundamental difference is, well, it's everything for making informed choices. And for you listening, getting these distinctions clear is how you stay ahead, how you really master your craft.
Which leads to kind of a final thought to leave you with, thinking about these two very different ways they work, one on the surface, one stimulating from within. How could understanding both really well, how might that let you create even more sophisticated, maybe even combined strategies for your clients in the future?